So, when you think of the most important moment in Star Wars that allowed the rest of the movies to flourish in cinematic history and go on to push new and interesting ideas for the Star Wars universe, what do you think of? Because me personally, the scene that really stands out to me would be... Wait, no, not this one. No, close. There we go. So, in Attack of the Clones is where we see this grand scene play out. Now, although it doesn't involve a huge battle sequence, or some of that sweet lightsaber dueling, I think this scene is every bit as impactful, if not more, which is kind of the reason why it's able to create such an iconic Star Wars meme, while simultaneously holding key narrative moments.
Sounds an awful lot like a dictatorship to me.
Well, if it works.
Now, of course the foreshadowing here is extremely in your face, but that's kind of the point. You see, Anakin literally grew up in this system, so he's seen it all fail firsthand, time and time again. So he truly does have his reasons to begin to stop believing in something that he has fought for his entire life. Which is also why there's a really good amount of seriousness hidden behind that laughter. But that wouldn't be really the only reason for this moment being so important to the history of Star Wars. It's also due to the simple fact that this is when he and Padme begin to actually have time to share a moment together, which would spark the love for each other that they both shared. And that love is exactly what paved the way for the rest of the story to unfold. And not even just for Anakin, but for the Star Wars universe as a whole. But the only thing that kept that spark from setting the whole universe on fire was Padme. So the moment Anakin begins to ponder the idea that he might have to live without Padme is the same moment that he begins to embody Darth Vader. This fear of losing her, or more so the fear of losing the hope and love he had for her, would become the very thing that would lead him to blindly fall to the dark side, which would soon begin to heighten his feelings of rage and animosity towards the Jedi as a whole, which I'm pretty sure we all know where that leads. Now, this might be kind of hard to hear for some of the fans of the original trilogy, but this was actually always about Anakin from the start. Don't get me wrong, I think Luke is one of the greatest characters and really one of the greatest Jedi to ever live, but the Star Wars universe as a whole almost perfectly mirrors Anakin and Darth Vader. You see, when Anakin was young and just beginning to learn his true power, he also found love and hope inside Padme, which is why every set pops with color and life, even though war and destruction was going on during the time, just like the conflict inside Anakin's head. But by the third movie, the color begins to be slowly drained, by none other than Palpatine himself. And if you notice, most of the important plot points in Revenge of the Sith take place at night, during the darkest hours, which just perfectly mirrors his slow descent to the dark side. And when his full turn of the dark is made, he fully becomes Darth Vader, also with that name bringing great suffering to the galaxy, forcing us to see how he feels after losing his love and hope, leaving the galaxy broken, cold, and most of all quiet, invoking that cutoff from life that Vader now feels from losing the love of his life.